All right, yeah. Good morning once again, guys. I hope that we are all doing well this morning, and I hope that that everyone is fine, everyone is in good health, and that your families are well. Yeah. So today I wanted us to speak about just something that I was reading about, where people were sharing about something that I think that is important, especially professionally. I want to speak about career growth and development. Yeah, I think we were having, I think, a topic on was it Friday, where we're talking about some of the workplaces that we worked at, and what are the ideal environments that you would like to work at, and or that you think would be good for people. And some of the things that were mentioned was that no one wants to be at a workplace where you're staying in the same place month in, month out, year in, year out. You're in the same place, yeah. But we want to talk about career development from a personal, from a personal standpoint. How you as a person, how can you make sure that in as much as is up to you, how can you make sure that you are developing in terms of your career? How do you make sure that you are growing and that you are developing? Yeah. Or you can just share some of the things that you are doing as a person to make sure that you are growing career wise. Yeah. To make sure that how we all have goals, and we say that by this time in 5 years, or by this time in whatever time, I should be at this place. Maybe I should be a senior accountant, or I should be whatever your goal might be. But what are you doing, or what do you think those steps should be, just to make sure that you actually grow and reach those career goals that I'm sure each and every one of us has. Yeah, so anyone can feel free to share. Okay, I think I can go first. Maybe what I think for me personally is doing research, and just making sure that you have knowledge about where the times are going. Because when you try to study and do some research, you maybe find out that some jobs in perhaps 5 to 10 years might become actually obsolete. So if, let's say, you are having a goal to become that in the next couple of years, that means that might not be a very how can I say it? It might not be a very feasible goal if what you want to do will become obsolete with time. So it's just very important to be able to research and know, there are always people who are doing like predictions and things like that. For example, I was reading something on a certain blog, and they were talking about how in the future, or in the coming years, they're saying that a lot of companies will be spending a lot of money when it comes to cybersecurity, just to make sure that their companies are safe and things like that. So, so if it's somebody who wants to like develop or grow in the world of IT, so cybersecurity, or taking a course, or just being able to get knowledge in that area would be a very smart move to take. Yeah. Or finding out, when like things like AI are coming and things like that. Yeah. So for me, I feel like it's just important, to be able to do your research and be sure that you have vast knowledge, or you have enough knowledge. Don't just, make career decisions, just based on maybe what you think or have basic knowledge. It's important to research, to ask questions, and just be sure that, you understand, you have a bigger understanding of what, what you're getting yourself into. Yeah. Yeah, anyone else can feel free to share. How are you guys just making sure that, you know, you grow in your career? Yeah. And also just to mention, like here at Moracle, and I'm sure at most workplaces, there's what usually what's called like an appraisal, where you know, you come and you know, you'll be asked like what you've been doing, and see if, you know, you're viable for like an increase or a promotion or things like that. So I feel like, you know, that's also important, you know, because what you're doing now, kind of determines if you'll be able to get that promotion, or if you'll be able to get, you know, that increase. Yeah. So yeah, let's just feel free yeah, to share what we think. Yeah.
Well, I think I would just say, for me, I think we should always like grab each and every opportunity that comes our way in terms of what we want to do, because I think these opportunities as well help us to grow, help us to know ourselves better, like what we can do the best, what we can do best, so we can work on it. Because as for me, I tend to like shy away from doing things that are out of my comfort zone, even if it is something that will push me to grow. So I think it's very advisable, if you want to grow and achieve or reach your goal, you have to uh, go out of your comfort zone and grab each and every opportunity so that you can grow.
Yeah.
That's what I take from this.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Jessica. Yeah, it is important that, you know, we should, especially when we are like starting out. It's just important to be able to take opportunities. Yeah. I know sometimes, like you said, how we always want comfort zones, especially, you know, we can tend to be picky. Maybe like an opportunity comes and you say, no, that's not what I want, or that's not what I want, until you get to a point and you realize that actually every opportunity is good, because sometimes even when it's not maybe what you want to major in, there's some lessons that you can learn from that place. You know, maybe you could learn some kind of work ethic or whatever. You know, you just be able to take as many lessons as you're able to, and just make sure that, you know, you don't waste the time that you're there. Use whatever you can take, and then that will help you, yeah, go to the next level. Yeah. So thank you so much, Jessica. Yeah. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah. So for me, I do believe if you want to have a career growth your in your work, first of all, you need to set your goals regularly upon what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
At least you should know that this is what I want to achieve. These are some of the things I want to do every day. So
Yeah.
by you setting the goals regularly will enable you to have a career growth. And another one also here is that you should be able to talk to your network. Maybe I am an accountant. I want to be an accountant. Now, I should not deviate my mind trying to discuss with people that are competitors or traders pertaining to my field. So if I want to know stuff that are dealing with accountancy, I should discuss with professionals, people that are accountants. So I should try to talk to my network. We have different platforms that people are engaging, wherein they are sharing useful materials when it comes to accountancy. So you should try all possible means to connect with them. By you connecting with them, it will improve your career. And also, for instance, you should utilize your company resource. Like, for instance, we have Moracle. This is one of way of utilizing our resource here, attending this mindset program each and every morning, and also the Thursday webinar that we are having. It's another way also for you to improve in your career growth, because they are vital information that they are sharing each and every day here. So by you attending this session will enable you to improve your career growth. And also you should be curious about your field. You should be very curious. Curiosity, you should be curious about what you want to achieve, what you want to learn here. if you are not curious about what you want to learn. For me, what's bring me here is about my curiosity. Like I want to be part of this thing. I want to get involved. So you should be curious about your field. And also you should be able to read often. Now, by you reading often, reading each and every day, try to read about your field. Try to know about the basic. This will help you.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that I do believe will help you achieve your career growth. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much, Noah. Yeah, so you mentioned about like networking and always making sure that you are able to network with other accountants. Yeah, I think like that's a very good point. But I hope that like when you're like networking with people, that you're not only networking with only accountants or people with your field. Because personally, I feel like we need to network with people who are in our field, because they will help us grow in our field. But I think it's also important to network and get to know people outside our field. Yeah, because most of the times it's the people who are outside our field who actually need our service. Yeah, so a lawyer will need an accountant, or a doctor, or whatever, businessman will need an accountant. An accountant might not want another accountant, but yeah, so I think it's good to know people within your field, but also try to diversify a bit. Yeah, just to know people in other.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. James, would you like to share something on this?
Yeah, I would do, I think two things that really are fundamental here, the way I look at things, the marketplace, and then me, and then what I'm calling me PLC. In the out there, like the companies, there's okay, they have shares. I think all of us know share price. So you can actually invest in another company, knowing that actually, for example, if somebody knew what Amazon would be, say 20 years ago, they would have invested a lot in it. But when it was starting, no one foresaw that there would be that potential. I mean, the owner now is is it the second? Yeah, he's the second richest guy in the world. Yeah, so the marketplace actually drives our career, and because in terms of tapping into the market, me being relevant in the marketplace is very, very important. And it's just like that Amazon, the share price went on because to buy shares in Amazon, you know that you are in the right place, because certainly it is going to increase. The value is going to increase with time. So we are. It's quite unfortunate because some people talk about capitalism, but that's what it is right now. What it is, whereby you need to look at yourself, how valuable you are. Although not just capitalism, there's few people when we have value, we have value, then it means we will be relevant to the market. We will be relevant for other people, and eventually, if we have got a skill, which of course we are talking about the career here, the skill, then that skill you will name the price. You will just name that price. Yeah. So I think, and in order for us to develop a skill, and then study has been mentioned, reading has been mentioned, and being out there, networking, really networking within where you want to go or where you want to be, but also networking within the marketplace. I think that and then sometimes another, I think, fundamental thing here, which is inevitable, is to sidetrack, to drift. Very, very easy for circumstances around you to make you drift. Because, for example, when you are changing to improve on your career, there maybe it might be changing a workplace, or might be changing something you are studying, and that might have an impact on what you are doing, and you may actually drift. So basically, it is important for us to be focused all the time, just focused. Yes, with where I will go. And last but not least, all the time asking this question: what do I really want? Because what I want is will be crucial, and those goals will be set, and then reviewing them and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, James. Yeah. And when you were speaking about being able to change or being able to drift, like there's a thought that came to my mind, talking about like changing workplaces and things like that. But there's a thought that came to my mind that sometimes you can actually, maybe change like a career path, completely from maybe what you studied, and then to do something else. So I also feel like sometimes that's maybe something that we can, maybe I'll say in a way, keep open-minded too, that, sometimes there might be like some changes, like in the career path, you might have maybe studied something like in your bachelor's degree or whatever, and then you find that you end up maybe getting a job in something very different, and then you just find yourself going in that career that's actually very different from like what you've studied. Like you've seen people like maybe studying like IT, and then they end up getting work like in mass communication or something like that. Yeah, so I think that sometimes, and I feel like these days it happens a lot where, someone might study something and they end up doing something different. Yeah, so I think that that's also something that, people can be open to, if it's something that happens, yeah, and not maybe have like that thing of, or maybe saying that, okay, maybe I studied this, so I cannot do this, because sometimes the opportunity might come in something that you didn't even study, but then you're actually able to do and do well. Yeah. All right. Mariama, would you like to share something? We're speaking about career growth and development.
Yeah, so is that setting goals and developing yourself?
Okay, basically, in a way, like how, you're making sure that if you have like certain goals, like in your career path that you want to hit, how you're making sure that, that you will be able to attain them, or that you're attaining them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. It's really important that we set up ourselves goals and know where we're heading to. Of course, when you know what you want to achieve, you're more likely to achieve it. I think, I don't know, maybe we talked about it at some point where I mentioned something like that. So, yeah, setting ourselves goals, and again, realistic goals, and not just, writing things down just for the sake of, having something on your list to make yourself feel better that, I've got something on my list that I want to, to make yourself feel better, basically. But it's actually things, that you really want to achieve, that you're passionate about, that, whatever your reason is for wanting to achieve it. And yeah, it's important that we continue to develop ourselves, like we talked about before as well. The world is changing continuously, so it's important that we keep up with that. And I believe nobody wants to do the same thing for the rest of their lives. No matter how much you love doing what you're doing, you always want to do more when you get there. So yeah, so it's important that and sometimes when you're passionate about something and you're setting yourself goals that you really want to achieve whatsoever, it sometimes it comes in naturally. Once you get there, you want to do more, you want to research more, you want to do something to enhance your skills or learn something new and keep pushing. So yeah, definitely, it's really important.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mariama. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for sharing. Yeah, we really appreciate your yeah, everything that you have to share. So thank you so much. Yeah, so we'll just close our meeting here for today.